this year, I had the privilege of learning of Oasis and seeing their organization work and move in the life of a friend. This friend is a teenager that I met earlier this year, and she was scared, lost, vulnerable, and anything else you can imagine that a teen would feel if she found herself unexpectedly pregnant. Her abortion was scheduled, and as I got to know her and love on her and pray for her, it became so apparent how ill-equipped I was to truly counsel her and get her the guidance that she needed. What I really wanted was to scream, "Don't abort!" But of course, that is never going to be the way to change a heart. I learned about Oasis from a friend of a friend. I was able to call Oasis, and the counselor poured into me how to guide this girl to understand how important counseling would be for her. And the counselor also lifted the burden off me by letting me know that I did not have to do the counseling. My job was to love on that girl, to let her know that she deserves and owes it to herself and the baby to get the counseling and and also a sonogram if desired. By the grace of God, a few days later, I was with the teen driving to Oasis. The abortion was still scheduled, but she was open to hearing from a counselor. And we arrived at the office, and everyone was so welcoming and approachable and loving. I waited on the couch in the lobby praying and getting blotchy because I was so nervous. And later I had the blessing of that teen calling me into the room to see the sonogram. And oh my goodness, I will never forget that moment for as long as I live. That baby was bouncing and reaching for his feet, and the teen and I said right away that we both knew that baby was a boy. There was one point I was talking to a staff member in the room, and the teen grabbed my hand and said, "Look," because the baby was moving again and she wanted me to see. And that was a moment that it was so apparent the Lord was in the room and just so all in control of the situation. That evening, as I drove that sweet teenager home, she was still wrestling with what to do. And it was hard to not cry or get emotional, and I dropped her off at her house and hugged her and let her know that I loved her. About an hour later, I got a text from her saying that she was canceling the abortion and going to give that baby life, or in so many words that a teenager would say. Last week, that baby was born. He was beautiful. He is healthy and oh so adorable. What I learned in this whole process is not that there is just a baby at the center of this, but there's also a girl or a woman who is scared and alone and desperate. Oasis gets that. Whatever happened behind those doors in that counseling was loving and truthful and approachable and confidential. Everything that a young, vulnerable woman needs was received in that counseling room. Oasis truly was an oasis in that tumultuous situation. I'm so thankful that the Lord allowed me to be a small part in this story, and I'm so thankful for Oasis for equipping me to empower this girl to get the counseling that she needed. This was truly a life and death situation. The situation ended in life of not only that precious boy, but the life and hope in the heart of this girl that is everlasting. Oasis was created for this moment in time, and I am so thankful to have witnessed this story unfold.